Hi, my name's Kim. I'm Swiss, but I live in the Scottish Highlands. I love hiking and going on little adventures, and I want to share what the great outdoors has to offer with you. I hope you'll enjoy following along, and hopefully I'll be able to inspire some of you to head out there as well. If you want to see more of my adventures, make sure you subscribe. Hello again, everyone. How are you all doing? So, another beautiful late spring day here in Scotland. So, we're going camping again. So yeah, I'm parked here in Coolax, which is down Glen Carron, just a couple of miles away from Carron, and this is where our route starts today. So the plan is to do the circuit around Maol Chean-dearg. Sorry, I completely forgot the name, but I'll pop it up here for you. But yeah, plan is to get around 3/4 around the circuit, find somewhere to camp, and then tomorrow morning, depending how the weather is, but hopefully if it's nice and clear, get up very early for hopefully sunrise. We'll see how it goes, and then yeah, head back down to the car. But yeah, I'm all ready, so let's get going. And very first thing I do want to mention, just as info, if you are maybe planning on doing the same here, parking is at a little bit of a premium here. So we're in the middle of May, so there's not that many tourists around yet for the summer. But yeah, I think you either want to get here early in the morning or later in the day, where the people that got here first thing in the morning might have already left. And let's head off. This path is really beautiful right from the start, so pretty quickly you're on kind of one of these trails, and you can just see it here in front of us, just going. The way it looks like on the map, so for today, is pretty much going to be continuously uphill for the most part, but yeah, just quite steady, not like super steep. So yeah, it's definitely warm today. So it currently says it's about 18 degrees, and if anyone knows Scotland, that's already pretty warm up here, because here we're just not used to the heat, so pretty much anything above 15 really feels pretty warm. And probably gonna take a break in a few minutes, and then I'm glad I've got my zip-off trousers on today, so I think I'm gonna take them bottom part off and wear shorts for a little while. Well, so we're about just under an hour into our hike, and right here is a bothy. So bothies, they're all around the Scottish countryside, and their idea is to basically provide shelter for anyone that's hiking in the hills. Now with bothies, they're free to use, but yeah, make sure if you use one, leave it nice and clean, don't leave any rubbish, and make sure also not to leave any food or any perishables behind, because we want to make sure that the bothies are left just as nice for anyone that's using it after you. But yeah, I've never been to this one, so let's have a quick look. Alright, so we've got the entry door. First room here to the left. Someone left some alcohol there. Couple of chairs, some benches. Then there's a second room here just on the opposite side. Very similar. Bench, some space to hang some stuff. And also a little fireplace to make a fire. Right, and special for this bothy, it's actually something I've never seen before. It has stairs and it has an upstairs. Wow, a couple more rooms up here. Room number 1. Same just here on the other side. And a tiny closet, but maybe nice if you're by yourself or as here as a couple. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And said here, make sure you don't leave any rubbish. I've got a spade here if you haven't got your own, if you do need to go to the toilet. Yeah, make sure you respect these bothies, so that we'll have to use of them for many years to come. But yeah, important if you want to use one. Sorry, let me just close this door. If you want to use one, you still need to bring a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag. As you can see, there's no beds or covers or anything. And also, even if you are planning on using a bothy on your hike, there's many people that plan their hikes around different bothies that they can stop along the way. I would definitely recommend to still, always have a tent with you, because sometimes it can happen that, many other people had the same idea as you and want to use that same bothy. It can get, if it does get crowded in there, you might want to prefer finding a camping spot nearby instead. But yeah, I'm gonna have a little something to drink, and then we're gonna keep going in a few minutes. So we've just set off again, and I was just looking at how far I've already walked. So, as I've said earlier, we're probably walked just under an hour, and I've done 2 miles so far. So definitely keeping a, slow but steady pace, and I think that's perfect for days like today. So where we're going is about 8 miles or so. So even if we keep, this chill pace, have some breaks, gonna definitely have a longer break for some lunch in a little while. The whole route should still only take us 4 to 5 hours. And as we've left just before 12, means we should be by our camping spot by 5 o'clock easily. And sun doesn't go down till 9:30 here. So, as I've said, I've said that previously, but I love that about wild camping. You just have so much time to make your way to your destination. And at least for now, I'm not doing huge distances, so I can just take my time and enjoy the journey. so at this point is where we'll be completing our loop tomorrow. So if all goes to plan, we will be coming down this path in the morning. But for now, we're gonna continue along the valley and kind of circle around that mountain up there. So if you go it clockwise, so you go up fairly steeply here and then slowly descend again around the back. But we're doing it anti-clockwise, which I mean we'll still gain the same elevation but over a much longer path, and then we'll do this steep part on the way down tomorrow. So I'm just chilling here for a few minutes. A nice little breeze going on, which is really nice. And cause yeah, guys, I know it's some of you will be weird to hear, but 18 degrees here feels pretty hot. So as soon as you start walking, you know, got a good bit of weight on my back. So yeah, that was 18 degrees, and also it's quite high humidity. Feels pretty warm, but yeah, we'll push through it, and then tomorrow I'm definitely planning on hiking much earlier in the day, so it shouldn't be as hot. But yeah, you know, this very much could be our summer. You never know if we're gonna get you know, many more stretches of days like this. So yeah, definitely gonna enjoy them while they last. So we're gonna head up here shortly. I think this will be one of our steepest parts. This uphill, it's kicking my butt. But yeah, I think we've made up most of it. I've just had a little look at the map, and we're currently at about 400 meters above sea. From what I can see, I believe the top of this col is about 470, if I remember right. So yeah, definitely more than halfway up this. A little bit more to go. And then when we get to the top, we'll do a well-deserved rest break. All right, so we've hit another junction. We've come up this way here behind me, down from that loch down there. And we're gonna continue here to my left up this path, which is gonna bring us around our mountain that we're hiking around today. Now if you turn to my right, behind here, you can see the pathway there in the back goes above through that valley, and I think it brings you out towards the Torridon area, which is just on the other side of this mountain chain. But yeah, we'll head up here. think we're finally at the top of this section. So it looks like it's going down again. Wow, have a look at this. So yeah, we're basically gonna head around this loch, and then the path will go up there somewhere and round behind. But yeah, basically next nice rock I see, I'll have a break. I found a nice rock to sit on, and how's this for a lunch bowl? Okay, so I'm pretty much ready to head off again. Had a nice little break. Had some food, a bit to drink. But yeah, a little bit chilly here as well. Quite a breeze going on, but it does feel quite nice after it's felt quite hot. But yeah, it took us about just over 3 hours to get to this point. We're about 4.5 miles into the hike, and I would say we've got another 3.5 to 4 miles to go today before we will look for a camping spot. But yeah, what's also nice, we've done most of the elevation gain, so a little bit more uphill, but it's going to be fairly straightforward from this point. But yeah, let's get going again. I've definitely hit a little bit of a lull, so the legs are feeling pretty tired right now, but that's quite often the case for me, you know, after I've had an extended break. So taking it pretty slow right now, just slowly making my way through this phase, and then it's also slightly uphill right now, but yeah, hopefully we'll pass, and I'll be able to go a little bit quicker again. But yeah, as I said before, speed really doesn't matter today. We've got plenty of time. We've still got loads and loads of daylight left. So yeah, nice and easy right now. So the path has started to climb uphill again, but yeah, we're really not far off now. But yeah, before heading up, needed another break to be ready for this last bit. But yeah, so at the moment we're at about 450 meters of elevation, and where I'm planning to camp is at 550. So we've got 100 meters of uphill to go. But yeah, we'll be ready for that in a minute. In the meanwhile, just enjoying this view here right in front of me. here. So I'm gonna set up somewhere here, somewhere down towards that loch. Just gonna find a spot that's not too boggy. But yeah, let's have a look. Okay, so I might make this here my spot. I just put my pack down and I'm gonna have a little walk around down there. It looks pretty nice as well. So I'm just gonna have a quick look if I want to pitch up here or somewhere a little further off. So I had a little walk around, but yeah, I decided to camp here where I initially dropped my bag. Only question is whether the ground's soft enough to get the pegs in, but I just had a couple of little tries for the pegs and I think seems okay. So let's try it. Let's set up the tent. The tent is all set up, and how is this for a camp spot? Right, so the tent's all set up behind me. I've also put my sleeping pad in there, had my sleeping bag ready, and yeah, pretty much, yeah, everything ready to go to sleep in there, pretty much. But yeah, it's getting close to 6 o'clock now, I believe. So just about to make some food. Also think I'm gonna have a tea. And yeah, just chill out for a bit. Okay, so for dinner today, I got myself one of these freeze-dried meals. I think I've had one of them, I think maybe twice before, and as I remember them, at least those ones weren't too bad. Now, I've heard they can be quite hit and miss, but yeah, we'll see how this one is in a moment. So I am hoping, or I am planning on walking the West Highland Way quite soon, and I'm of course planning on camping here. And for the majority of it, I do want to, bring my own food. I know I'll probably have the odd meal in a restaurant along the way, but majority of the time I do want to camp, not kind of in the main towns, but more out in nature, which means I will have to bring my own food. So yeah, I've gotten myself a couple of them. So yeah, I'll try some out and see which ones I like. But yeah, they're at least nutrition-wise pretty decent. So and light to carry as well. So this one weighs 118 grams, contains 600 calories, and has a decent mix of fat, carbs, and protein as well. So yeah, let's let's give it a go. Pretty decent. So this one's macaroni and cheese, and yeah, I can definitely get on board with that. Pretty good, actually. While we're just sitting here and chilling for a bit, there's a couple of more things I do want to talk about, and that's mainly about the few things that I've changed since our last wild camp together a couple of weeks ago, where we went to Loch Einich. And so first big thing, I changed my sleeping pad. So you might remember me talking about it last time, but the sleeping pad I previously had, or I still have it, but I'm not going to use it anymore, is that it's really not the best. So it's realistically really just a pure summer only sleeping pad. Has an R value of, I believe, 1.3, so it
not much isolation against the ground. And also it's never just really that comfortable. Never, not very thick. It was very lightweight, which is why I bought it originally. But yeah, the comfort really just wasn't there. And the first thing I bought was, like I said, got myself a new sleeping pad, and I went for the Big Agnes Rapide SL, I believe it's called. I went through, tons of reviews and recommendations online, and that's one that just kept popping up. And weight-wise, pretty much the same as my previous sleeping bag was. I'm quite small, so I got the short version, which comes in at, I'd have to double check, but I think just under 500 grams, which is pretty light. But yeah, it's a definite improvement. The Big Agnes, they're pretty thick sleeping pads once they're blown up. And I mean, not slept on it yet, but I did spend quite a while on it on my bedroom floor, just as soon as we got it. Of course, had to blow it up, make sure it's all good, and tried it out for a bit, and it felt pretty comfortable on the hardwood floor. So got good hopes for tonight. Second thing, I also got myself along the same lines, little pillow. So I've never actually had a camping pillow. My previous sleeping bag, so we'll get to that in a minute, but I've also swapped out my sleeping bag. My previous sleeping bag had like a little pocket inside the hood where you could put, of course you could put a pillow in, but also, maybe your down jacket or any spare clothes, just into that little pocket to give you a little bit of a pillow. But yeah, it wasn't ever really that comfortable. So I've decided to get myself a pillow. Again, this one's very lightweight. I believe it only weighs about 50 grams. So yeah, went for it. And then third one, like I said, new sleeping bag. So this one's the Mountain Equipment Helium 400, specifically the women's version. Again, I'm quite small, so I don't really need the length of the men's one. And, the shorter ones, they usually are a bit lighter. But the main reason I did replace the sleeping bag is for weight. So my other sleeping bag is a pretty good one. It's Haglöf's Muska, rated to -1, I believe. Very comfortable. I did really like it. But it is a synthetic bag. Good for when it's damp and wet, but also comes with a bit of extra weight. So that one weighed around 1.5 kilos. With this new one, similar temperature rating, but it's a down bag, and it comes in at only around 750 grams. So roughly about half the weight of my previous one. And it packs down a lot smaller. And especially for multi-day hikes that I'm planning, I can really do with that extra bit of space in my bag. So got enough space to put food in there. But yeah, those are my couple of changes since my last camp, and I'm pretty excited about them. So I should definitely be a lot more comfortable tonight. Also, another thing that I took with me this time are just some trekking poles. So I didn't have them with me to Loch Heinich, but I knew that that's a pretty straightforward, easy walk. Whereas here, I did know it was going to be a lot harder, a lot rougher underfoot, which I was completely right about. So the path is pretty easy to follow. It's really clear, but it is quite rough. Lots of little rocks and gravel and all of that kind of stuff. Loose underfoot. Also quite a lot of big puddles to get through little bits of boggy ground. So it's just really nice having those poles. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So 4 things different basically. But as I've said before, I'm still pretty new to wild camping. So I think with each trip, we're going to learn something new. Might change something a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm decently happy gear-wise for the moment. But otherwise, for now, we're just enjoying this brilliant evening. So while I've really enjoyed my camp at Loch Einich, the weather in the evening, of course, wasn't great. We did have, a lot of clouds came in, and we did have some rain. So I spent most of my time just lying down in my tent and reading. But yeah, today looks like a great evening. That sun is still bright up there. Hopefully we'll get a pretty nice sunset. I'll definitely try to get that in on video if there's something to look at. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely spend my time outside this time.
As always, you just never know here in the Highlands. So as you can see on my face, over there we still got the sun out, but right above us here we've got some dark clouds and it has just started to drizzle a little bit. So I'm gonna go into my tent. It looks like there's some blue sky coming up again behind these clouds, so it shouldn't be long. But yeah, we'll get inside for the moment, then hopefully in time for sunset it will be nice and dry once again. But yeah, this is absolutely, completely normal for up here in the Highlands. 0 rain in the forecast, but you just never know, which is why you've always got to be prepared. So the rain has already stopped again. Only rain for a bit, for literally like 20 minutes. Got a few more darker clouds right here behind me, but doesn't look like we'll have any more rain, and then you can see some blue skies behind them coming up again. So yeah, sun's hidden behind the cloud right now, but I do hope it comes out again before sunset, because I think that would be an awesome little time lapse to set up. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's 8:30 right now, so still got a good hour until sunset. So that was a pretty decent sunset, but yeah, the sun's down now. Unfortunately, there were a couple of clouds hiding the sun for most of it, because otherwise, the sun was going down pretty much perfectly between those two mountains. But yeah, we can't always, get everything we want, and it was nice anyway. But yeah, it's 9:45 now. So I'm back at my tent, and I'm probably just going to start winding down, getting ready to sleep. It's going to be a while longer until it's actually dark, but I'm gonna try to get to sleep before that, because as you know, my alarm's going to go off at 4 in the morning at first light. I'm going to try to get up higher and hopefully get a really nice sunrise in the morning. But yeah, good night everyone, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning everyone. How are we? So I'm sure as you can see, it's already quite light out and we are not up that mountain. But yeah, when my alarm went off, I just could not face getting out of my nice warm cozy sleeping bag and up there, because yeah, I was super cozy throughout the night, really warm and comfortable, which is amazing, but I did not sleep well at all. And that's simply got to do with I'm not really used to camping out here yet, and you just hear so many weird and strange noises throughout the night. So yeah, they kept me up for most of it. Hopefully, with a couple more of these I'll get used to it and start sleeping better. But yeah, wasn't the best night, but like I've said, the
new sleeping mat and sleeping bag and everything. Definitely super comfortable, so I'm very happy with that. But yeah, I did not want to get up and out the tent when it was still dark. But yeah, even though the sun is about to start coming up over that ridge, and I think even here from down the tent we'll have a pretty sweet sunrise. I'm gonna put some coffee on in a minute, and yeah, just enjoy the stillness this morning. Okay, so we've been up for quite a while now. I've had, like I said, a coffee, also had some food, and yeah, we waited for the sun to come up properly. We had a sun for a few minutes. Clouds are just covering it again. But yeah, I think it's time to start packing up and then start heading down to the car. Okay, so we are all packed up. Feels like I've been awake for quite a while, and it should be a lot later than it is, but it's only just after 7:30. But yeah, the sun's properly out now, and as you can see, I'm easily in my t-shirt. So yeah, shows you how warm it already is first thing in the morning. But yeah, gonna head back to the car. Should be pretty much all mostly downhill. Just here at the very beginning, we do have to gain that ridge there right behind me, but after that, all going down, and a good walk back to the car. I'm estimating about 2 hours, but yeah, I can definitely feel my shoulders from carrying the pack yesterday, so it's probably gonna, I'm gonna feel it pretty quickly today as well. But yeah, knowing we don't have too far to go, definitely makes it a lot easier. And yeah, I'm just gonna have a last quick sweep of where I've camped, because the most important thing when you do wild camping is to leave no trace. So I'm just gonna make sure I've got everything, not even leaving the smallest bit of rubbish behind, and then we'll head off. So when you come up this path, so down by that little loch we've just camped, you come down to this path. It wants to lead you over to that way. So I did head up there just to have a look and see what the view is. But if you want to go back to where we came from, it's a little bit harder to pick up when you come from the bottom. But there's a trail here going up towards the right to the base of our Munro, and that's the one you need to get back down. Perfect. So we've just gotten to the place where the path up to the Munro starts. It's marked here with a nice little cairn. But yeah, like I said earlier, not for us today. I said I'm pretty tired and I didn't want to get up super early. And now I want to get back to the car before it gets too warm. But yeah, we gotta head down into that valley. Hopefully that mist is gonna burn off. But yeah, it's gonna be quite steep downhill for a little while. So once again, it's a very clear path to follow, but it is kind of sandy, loose rocks kind of thing, so it's a little bit slippery actually. So yeah, good thing I have my poles, definitely does help. Yeah, just don't go too fast. Gotta be a little bit careful down here. So just as usual, taking a look back as well, and it's just some pretty good views. As you can see, we've just come over another little ridge,
and this is the first kind of, we can see properly back down into the valley, and we can see where the two paths diverge, and you know, where we're going to turn right and head back down the valley and back to the car. Well, yeah, I have to say overall this downhill is definitely taking longer than I expected. I think by the time we're down there, it's probably taken us about an hour to get down this hill. So I'm pretty glad we decided to go the long way around yesterday and not straight up here. Because yeah, up here with this heavy pack would have definitely taken me 2+ hours, and I'm not sure I would have been ready for that. But yeah, let's do this last downhill bit. Right, we're getting really close to the bottom where we will complete our loop before then heading back down all the way down that glen to the car and the main road. So we're just about to be back at the bothy, and I've been hiking for about an hour and 10 minutes or so. So I think perfect time for a break before we do the second half for today. Right, so I've just set off again. I was sitting in a nice little spot, but the clouds have come in again, so didn't really want to put any extra layers on, because as soon as I walked I knew it'd be hot again. But yeah, it was getting a bit chilly just sitting there. I've also met the first 2 people today, so all the rest of the way I haven't come across anyone yet, but just chatted to 2 guys who were sleeping at the bothy, and said nice and comfortable. But yeah, down the last stretch. It took us 50 minutes to get to the bothy yesterday, but that was mostly uphill, so it should be quicker to get back down. Literally 2 minutes away from the car. So I predicted that it would take me about 2 hours to get back down here, and I was pretty accurate. So I left the campsite at 7:33 exactly, and right now it's 9:33. It's gonna probably take another 2 minutes to get to the car, so well, just a tiny bit out. But yeah, ready to sit down, have a moment to relax, and head back to the city. Right, back at the car, and to be completely honest with you, I'm just going to be sitting here for a little bit before starting to drive back. But yeah, let's recap that hike. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Beautiful scenery, absolutely stunning location to camp, but it was a little bit tougher than I expected. So I think I said distance wise, really not that bad. 8 miles yesterday, about just under 4 miles today. But I believe a couple of things that got me was firstly the elevation change. So I'm still very much working on my endurance, especially when carrying a heavy pack. So yeah, that took some getting used to. Secondly, said that the path is very easy to follow, it's very clear, but it is also very rough underfoot. So lots of lots of loose gravel and rocks to walk on. And you just feel like you're slipping quite a bit, and you kind of can't really pick up the speed, because as soon as you push off a bit harder, your foot slides. And yeah, I think the third thing that was quite tough was just how hot it was yesterday. But yeah, very happy with it overall. Very happy with my new gear, the sleeping pad and the sleeping bag, very comfortable. Like I said earlier, I didn't want to get out of them this morning. But yeah, looking back, the only thing is I do wish I actually had gotten up this morning and went up that Munro, or at least halfway up or so for sunrise. But yeah, couldn't convince myself this morning. I might need to start taking someone else with me that can drag me out of my sleeping bag in the morning. But yeah, everything else, super happy with this. Now just heading back to Inverness. I am going to stop at Lidl's in Dingwall on the way, cause the whole hike back I couldn't stop thinking about their bakery brownies, which are one of my absolute favourite things. So yeah, gonna pick up some of them, maybe some fresh croissants or something as well. Just feeling quite picky. And then yeah, get home. I'll probably get a nap in this afternoon, but I've also got some laundry to do, and I do want to do some meal prep for the week ahead. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed this. And if you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.